Well, good morning, my friends. I am here. It just took me a little bit to get going with a cat in my way. Let me get this cord out of my face. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's as best as it's going to be. So, how is everybody this morning? It has been a while since we've done a live. So what am I missing here so far? Okay, let's see. Case, you're here. Good morning. Anna, good morning. Michelle, I'll get it right. Stella. Good morning. Glad you're joining us. Let's see. Melissa, hello. Allison, yes. Celia, Nick, oh my goodness. Kitsy, well, hello. Haven't heard from you in quite some time. Allison, you're still working on Deep Blue Sea. Good for you. Day and Night Iceland. Hello, Karen. Woo woo, hello. Oh my goodness. Such a grand bunch of people here today. This is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, let's see. Lori, hello. Lucia, good morning. It still is morning. Yep, still morning for a little bit yet. We're soon going to be out of morning, but that's okay. That's quite all right. Oh, no, I didn't want that. Put that down here. Oh, this is what happens when you live stream. You get too many screens open. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. Well, you're seeing something new on the screen today, aren't you? Well, what I decided to do is to give myself a little variety because I am... Yes, you can ask questions about anything, Michelle. Absolutely anything. What I decided to do is start Adam's Christmas stocking. And I can rotate between the one for Jennifer and the one for Adam, which are my daughter and son-in-law. Because Adam's is a lot of block stitching, and that's why it's on the frame today, because it's a lot of block stitching and I don't have to count a whole lot to work on it. So that's my plan. Yeah, I can show you my daughter. Well, I have it in a Q-snap at this moment, but here we can see a little bit of it. This is where I'm down. Whoops. Where I'm down to. I'm getting almost down to where the point of the toe starts to come back, or will start to come out over here. So this is starting to move this way a little bit. So, okay. So that's where we are on that. It is a gorgeous stocking. Silja, I have no idea who inspired you to do God Shed His Grace. I have no idea. Who would have done that? Okay, I'll fess. I'll fess up. It was me. And yes, I will be working on that one in between. I'll take a little bit of a break on occasion from the two stockings and do a little bit of God Shed His Grace. But I have made up okay. I say this and you know it's going to change. I know it will probably change. At this moment in time, not speaking for a week from now, at this moment in time, My goal is to get these 2 Christmas stockings done this year. That's my goal. Will that change? We all know me. Michelle, who is Stella on the chat. She looks like Stella. It looks like it's a Stella, but her name is Michelle. The chart for the Hardanger Stitch Along, yes, it is a PDF. It's immediately downloadable. Yes, it gives explicit instructions. They are fabulously wonderful instructions. Yes, I can show you a sample of the instructions. Let me pull it up here on my iPad. Let's see if I can. Oh, too many things in a little space. Okay. Let me turn this around. Okay. That is, I don't know how clear that is. Let me try and put it under this camera. There we go. So it shows you how to do the blocks. It gives you written directions. Here, let me hold the phone a minute. Hold the phone a minute. Oh, wait here. No, it's here. Hold them up. Oh, la, 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 la. Here we go. Let me zoom. Here we go. Okay. Here you go. So see, this tells you how to work them. It tells you the directions. It tells you when to use the different pearl cottons. It explains. I didn't do that border around mine yet. It shows you all the stitches. And I'm going to just give you a peek at how nicely it's charted. Okay, that's all you get to see of the chart. Yeah, it is very, very well charted and very, very, I think it's very easy to follow. I don't have any, oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. Hold the phone a second. Here we go again. There it is. Come here. Come here. Zoom. I want to. No, not that zoom. This zoom. Oh, God. Oh, Lordy, help me. Phone. No. Okay, you get a big picture of me. Okay. That was the Brio. This is the phone. This is my close this. Okay. No. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Well, you don't want to see that. You want to see this. So there we go. Technology, my friends, technology. One of these days, we'll get it all correct. Anyway, so, Michelle, does that answer your question? I hope so. I'm working. Woo, you're working on your first heaven and earth. Ooh, good for you. Good for you. Good morning, Brandy. Hello. And Donna, good morning. Sheila, good morning. Yes, I'm glad you finally caught me live also. That's wonderful. Case, you should stitch that with us. Now, on God Shed His Grace, I actually cropped it down a smidge. No, a lot. I took the full chart and put it into Goodreader, extracted the pages that I wanted to stitch, put them in a PDF file by themselves, and then put that into Pattern Keeper. So that's how I'm stitching it. I will probably do that with the other building, the barn, the other building in there too, if I get that far. But like I said, my goal needs to be to do these stockings. Now, I have been fiddling around with them for a year already, and not one of them is done. Not one of them. So it's time that Karen gets herself in gear and gets them finished. Because, you know, when you just want to be over it. You just want to be done and be able to move on to something else. And you know what? It isn't my daughter and son-in-law who are asking. It's my grandkids are going, Nana, do you have mom and daddy's stockings done yet? No, I do not. Oh, so let me pull my thread here that's not it. 3839, 3838. Oh, I didn't even wrap that one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So is the sound okay? And the stream okay? I don't think things are dropping or anything. It looks okay from my end. I just hope everything is okay on your end. I was having a little bit of issues with my microphone this morning, and I don't know why it does it, but every now and again my system, my computer drops the sound level. Who knows why? This skein of floss is terrible. And I'm even pulling from the correct end. So don't let anybody kid you. There we go. Now, be still your hearts, folks. I'm going to give it my best shot. I am going to try. And Allison, you already know this. But I'm going to make a concerted effort to try Royal Rose, because I did at one point do it just a smidgen little bit, but I didn't try it for long. I don't know that I want this needle. I don't want this needle. I probably did not give it a fair enough trial. So I thought, since this stocking is, and it's called Snowman, it's Heaven and Earth Design Snowman, and I don't know that I have a picture up of it. So let me see if I can find one quick. There might be one here. And then again, there might not. Let me see if I have one. No, I have to do one. Okay, we'll just call it image, and then we'll find, oh, nope. Oh, phooey. Oh, why does this do this? I hate when you go to look for a picture and all you get is the not the thumbnail of the picture. So I'm going to cancel that, and let's just show it to you this way. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. Snowman. So see, the top is a whole lot of blue. Well, the whole sampler is a whole lot of blue. But I figured, you know what, it's a whole lot of block stitching, and it's something I can easily work on while I'm doing a live stream. And I did not put the chart up for you to follow along for that reason, that it's just, once I put this color in here where I'm at this given moment, the rest of it is just going to be all the same color. So do you really want to see a chart that it's all the same color? There's nothing exciting to watch. So, like I said, I am going to make every effort to give this a fair shot. So, we're going to see how it goes, Allison. Ooh, there, now I can see better. We'll see how it goes. See if I can hang in there. And, well, this is a little awkward. You would not believe how I have this rigged to stitch here. I have, and I am going to do that video. In fact, I'm thinking of doing it next week, of what it takes to film these lives, Stitch with Me's, and other videos, because you probably can't see it, but to my right, there is a pole kind of thing, and it has an extension up top that's holding my phone, and that's how you're seeing this. And then I have another arm coming off over here with a clamp on it, and that's holding my Q-snap. And then my camera that you see me in is on top of my monitor. Oh, it's such a finagling. But we get it done. One way or another, we get it done. In between my bloopers. But I really should lower this just a bit because I feel like I'm up in the air. Way far up in the air. So I think I can do that if I loosen this and slide this down. Maybe that'll be a little better. And then tighten it. See, it's just, it's just, there we go. And then I can do a little more. Oh, that's better. Oh my God. And then your fingers get caught on the string. Allison, so far, yes. I stitched last evening all of these 3 things. I started this last evening. So this is how far I am. I did this, this, and this. And now I'm over here on this one. So far, we shall see. And then I have to remember what my question was that I asked, that I was thinking last night as I was stitching, and now I don't remember what it was, but there was something that did occur to me that, can you do it that? Oh, I know. Do you probably don't because you're strict. Do you ever feather your, what do you call them, towers? And the reason I'm asking that is because this is a whole lot of the same color. And I don't want to get tower lines. And I don't know how many like ends I'm going to have. And I really do kind of prefer to work my ends in like right away. So and I guess as you say, you can tweak it how you want. But I'm a little worried because it's so much of the same color about getting lines across here. Okay, Lucia, you do feather. Chrissy, I'm stitching Heaven and Earth Design Christmas stocking, and it's called Snowman. And of course, these little ends here, I have to push them back because they bother me. I'll show you again. Here we go. Oops. There it is. That's what I'm stitching. So I'm just up at the very, very top. And I know that you guys usually work left to right, but I had already had a few, not many, but just a few stitches in over here. Just a couple stitches when I picked this up last night. And I started over here because I was doing that experiment with stitching in hand. And to stitch in hand, I would, when I try that, I stitch right to left. So I didn't want to have to take these stitches out and then go over here. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to work this row across to the left, and then I can come back and do the stitches to the right, or do the stitches, the things left to right. Ah, what a day, what a day. So that's what I'm up to. And you guys, are you stitching, or are you just kind of hanging out? And normally I don't get to stitch a whole lot on this, or on anything. Normally we're yak, 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 but it's kind of quiet today. I did not realize it has been a month since I did a live for all you guys. So I thought, oh, it's about time to to get on here and have a chat. Have a chat. Penny, you're not late to the party. We just started. It took me a little bit to get here till I got things the way they should be. So, yeah, never late to the party. Always, always a party. So what is new with you folks? I can tell you, we have had the screwiest weather here. It was, I want to say, snowing. No, well, not snowing, but, well, actually, we did have a few flurries one day, and it was cold, and the next day it was 70, well, just about 70 degrees. It's like, holy smokes. Lucia, you're making dinner. Ooh, while making a birthday cake and listening to, oh, something's going to go wrong. No, you'll be fine. What's for dinner? We'll be right over. And happy birthday to whoever you're baking a cake for. Heather, you're working on your fancy lady. Good for you. I must confess, I will hang my head in shame that I have not touched my fancy lady since the day I started it. She has not seen the light of day. That's terrible, isn't it? Penny, you're ready to start your chatelaine? Good for you. Jen, you're doing your first full coverage that you started 2 years ago. Oh, you can do it. You can do it. Look, don't feel bad that it's 2 years ago. Look how long it took me to do Stitcher's Retreat. I worked on that for for 5 years. Lucia, it's your, we will be right over. And it's your son's 10th birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday to your son. We all wish him a happy birthday. You're getting old. No, 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 no. My daughter, okay, it's almost March. So my husband's birthday is in March, as in March the 5th. And my daughter's birthday and my son-in-law's birthday is in April. And my daughter will be 40 this year. 40. Now, you want to talk about getting old? Yeah. Hard to believe. It feels like it was just yesterday. Yeah, that she was a tiny tot. And now she's going to be 40 and has 2 kids of her own. Ah. Jean, you're working on Autumn's Warmth. 3 pages to go. Good for you. Well, hi, Teresa. Good morning. Glad you're joining us. Heather, you've been working on Stitcher's Retreat for 2 years. It's a big one. It's going to take a while. But you can do it. You can do it. I was on, when I was just pushing halfway, I was on a mission. And that mission was I was going to finish that no matter what. That was going to get finished because I wanted it up on my wall. And that is all I worked on for, I'm going to say like a year. And I think I did like 50% of it. Well, it was a little over a year, but I think I did like 50% of it in that year. I think I just did this the wrong color. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And anyway, it doesn't. It's sky. I think I did, but I'm not taking it out because it really doesn't matter. It's sky. I'll correct it here. Well, hello, Jody. Haven't seen you for a while. No, you're not late. No one's ever late. And Sue, good morning. You're finishing Mini Mandela Mystery. Good for you. Lori, your birthday's March the 5th? Whoa. How cool is that? How cool is that? Yeah, we're getting old. My husband will be, should I tell you? You want to know? He will be 74. He's sitting right out here in the kitchen. I can't say that too loud. No, he will be 74 on the 5th of March. So, yeah. Time flies. Time just... No, that didn't belong there. Wrong place. Wrong place. So that's what happens when you talk and stitch at the same time. Oh, Teresa, you're just shy of 98%. Oh, yes, you can do it. You can get it done till the end of the month. We will cheer you on. Absolutely. That's why we do these, to cheer everybody on. Yeah. Same age as my... Oh, Jen, Jean, your husband's birthday is today. Well, happy birthday to your husband. And Mirren, is my husband's the same age as your dancing teacher? Aw. Yeah, we kind of like try and forget our birthdays anymore. It's like, it's just another, well, it's just another day. However, it's very hard to ignore mine, because it really isn't just, okay, it's just another day for me, but it's not just another day for everybody else, because mine's the 4th of July. So, oh, let's see. Yes, good, man. Oh, Zoe, I'm so sorry to hear that. Your mom has vascular dementia. Oh. You know what? Use these videos as an escape. Take some time for you. I am so sorry to hear that. That's... I worked with a lot of dementia people when I was still working. Yeah. Take care of yourself. And it's not fun to watch. So my heart goes out to you. If you ever need to talk, get a hold of me. Go ahead. Seriously, message me. Get a hold of me. Allison, my husband, as you, most of you, well, a lot of you that have been with me for a while know that he was having some issues, and he had his tests, and fortunately, thank the good Lord, fortunately, all was negative. So his biopsies were all negative, and they even took, he had a very good technician that, he had a very good technician that did the biopsies, and normally they do 12, what they call punch biopsies. And with him, the technician had an area where he was just a little suspicious. So he took some extra ones of that area. But fortunately, everything was fine. Everything was negative. There's no cancer. So now he will still need some surgery to correct the issue. He has an enlarged prostate. So they still will need to fix that. And we go back to the surgeon in April, only because to go to the office that he wants to go to, it's booked further out than for us to travel to the other office. So that's why it's not till April. But at this point, we're not, it's not pushing off anything that is serious or could cause more issues. It's just a matter of removing some of the prostate so that he can go to the bathroom easier, to put it simply. So yes, it's wonderful. We were very, very happy to hear that things are okay, and hopefully they'll be able to do the less invasive surgery. with any amount of luck, they'll do the less invasive, and which will then be a shorter recovery time, which is also a wonderful, wonderful thing. So yeah, it's all good, all good. You know, it's that waiting game that gets you. But now we still have to wait, but at least we're waiting without worrying, without having a worry involved in that. So all is good. But thank you all for your well wishes and your thoughts and prayers and all that good stuff. And hopefully, you know, the procedure will go just as smoothly and all things will be fine. You know, it's not an uncommon issue with older men. So, you know, this is not that it's routine, but it's not uncommon. Lots of older gentlemen seem to have that problem, just as women have the problem of, especially women who have had babies and multiple babies, have the issue with leaking, where their bladder kind of drops down a little bit from all the pelvic muscles being weakened by pregnancy and childbirth. So, you know, we all know that that's not an uncommon issue with ladies. And just as this is kind of like the man's version, for lack of a better way to say it. Oh my. So, all is well, but we're here for stitching. We're here for stitching. Yeah, so I hope the video I posted yesterday was helpful for anyone that ever has to fix a hole in their fabric. Hopefully that's not going to happen to anybody, but we all know it does. Yeah. Oh, Zoe, that's so. I'm glad. I'm glad. And like I said, if you need a boost, you just need to vent, whatever, just send me a message. We'll go in a chat. Whatever. Because sometimes you just need to let it out. Yeah, that video was rather fun to do. I was surprised. You still don't have it. Oh, Lucia, why not? I'm going to check on that after, because you are a VIP member. And you don't have a star by your name? Oh, that's not right. That's not right. I will check into that, because you should. Because you have been a member for quite a while. In fact, let me Let me see if I can see if you do. Okay, members. See all my members. Where'd you go? Yeah, you should have a blue, a light blue, like a teal colored star. Because you've been a member for a month. You have it here on my list. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. No worries, it's an invisible one. No, I was watching and waiting for the live to start. Oh, you were, Brandy. Well, I hope it helps. I was really surprised when I saw the video by was it Mountain Cabin Crafts or something to that effect, where she is actually a weaver, and I linked her video in the drop down box of mine for people to go watch that. But when she fixes a hole, and this just surprised the heck out of me, she really doesn't remove any threads, fabric threads. And she weaves the new fabric thread in next to where the hole is. Like she'll cover the hole, but she'll start her thread aside of the torn one and work at a side of it, and then keep going and work this other side. And she staggers where she ends the new threads and then just cuts them off close to the fabric. And then you see her just pull it and jostle it around a little bit. And then after, there's a little fuzzies there, but she says after that fabric is washed, those fuzzies just get eaten up but they just get pulled into the main big piece, and you don't even know that there was a fix there, which is all well and good. And I should ask her a question, because I did ask her, well, that's all fine if it's just one thread in any given direction. And I said to her, what if you have multiple threads? Oh, sorry, you have to leave. Oh my goodness. Full disclosure, I cannot remember your name. Oh my God. Kick me. It's on the tip of my tongue. But I'm glad you stopped. So yes, stop next time. We would love to have you. What she told me was, if it's multiple threads, like if you have to replace 2, 3, 4 threads, that what she does is staggers where she ends that new thread. Okay, so that it isn't all at the same spot. She staggers it a bit. And that's all well and good, except and I need to ask her this. My question to her needs to be, or I want to ask her, when you're doing counted thread work and you come to those places, does it get confusing? Because say you're stitching over one thread. Now you have two threads because you've replaced that one and you're staggering where you start and end that replacement thread. How does that affect when you're doing counted work? Does that make sense? Can you see do you know what I mean? So that would be, I'm not sure how that would work other than to be conscious of where that replacement is and accommodate. Because if you, okay, say for example, this is hard, or 20 count fabric, but say for example this thread here is broken. So what she does is she'd come back here and she'd start weaving alongside of this one. Then she'd replace, or then she'd weave through the hole, and then she'd weave over here alongside of it. So if you count, if you're doing count, okay, I'm going to do this like this, and I can take it out. Okay, so this thread here is my broken thread. So I'm going to weave my new thread like this. Okay. Now I'm just putting this thread here to make it easier to rip out. I'm not going to go every stitch. Okay. So now this is my new thread laying alongside of my broken thread. Okay. Now I'm coming along and I need to put an X here where the hole was. Am I going to get confused because I'm stitching over one and count this as another thread instead of going, oh wait, that was the replacement thread, and incorporating it into my X? Because if this, does that make sense? Yeah, I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around that. Yeah, it would be like having a bigger slub on linen or flax. That could possibly be correct. But if hopefully if I'm stitching and I'm doing my counted cross stitch or whatever, hopefully I would get to that spot reasonably soon after I repaired it and be able to say, oh yeah, that's right, this is that extra thread, and I need to incorporate that into my current whatever I'm doing, whether it's an X or an eyelet or whatever. Because I can see forgetting and having then an extra X where it throws your count off. Yeah. Well, hello, Yvonne. How are you? Yeah. Yeah. Brenda, you prefer my way? You know what? So do I. I think my way makes more sense. And actually, it's not my way. It is a way that I learned through other YouTube videos. Nicola Parkman actually a long time ago demonstrated it, and I just thought maybe people needed a refresher on that, and I haven't seen other videos on it in a while, so I thought, okay, since my channel is a channel that people usually come to for reference of how do you do this or how do you do that, I thought, okay, this is something we need to have here so that you guys can, just search repair, fabric repair or something to that effect. Because that's what a lot of this channel is how-tos, how to do this or how I do it. And like I said, I am not an expert. All I am doing is sharing things that I know and Sharon, that's right. You just joined in also. You are a new VIP member. You don't have a star either. Sharon, you did join the channel membership, did you not? That's what I'm remembering. And you don't have a star either. Oh, YouTube, what are you doing? Let me see something here. Hold the phone. Okay, let me find my my groups. Oh, Sharon, why do I remember your name? Oh, maybe because did I just add you to the diagonal group? Is that what I'm thinking? I'm so confused. I have two groups. I have this channel. I have channel members. And I normally don't talk about this, but if you would like to be a member of the channel, all you have to do is click the join button. It gets you into a channel member Facebook group, and it gets you live chats on Messenger with me. Yeah, so that's always an option that is open. It's not required, but if you'd like to do that, it is certainly appreciated. Yvonne, question, gridding fabric. How do you grid? Not with lines, but crosses. Is there a video? I use a fabric pencil and I just draw lines. If you want you could just make your lines. Oh, I don't have that pencil. Oh, yes, I do. You could just count your 10 by 10, and here where my lines would intersect, I could just put a plus sign. Oh, you can't see that. What am I? Okay. Let me come in a little bit. Okay, so here where my grids would meet, I could just put plus sign there instead of drawing lines. So here they would meet, here they would meet. Just at that intersection, you could just put a plus sign. Jen Fox, thank you. You just became a member. Thank you so very much. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Either that, or if you want plus signs, you could grid it with sulky sliver, but then you actually have to sew it on. And then what people do is at the intersection, I have to think about it because I don't sew my grid on. For me, it gets in the way and I don't like it. But they go over 2, under 8, over 2, under 8, over 2, under 8, across, and then they do the same thing down, and the over 2s would make a plus sign on the front of your fabric. Okay, am I dropping from, no? Every once in a while this tells me that my stream isn't whacking out on you people, is it? Oh, excellent connection. Okay. Sometimes my software is telling me that it's not getting data, but it should. I'm hardwired. I would just use, this is a Bohin, here you go, a Bohin chalk pencil. Okay. And that's what I use to grid. Now, I will tell you, I did use a friction pen on Jenny's sampler. That's these lines. Okay. Now, they come out with heat. All right. So before I wash this, I will have to iron it to remove the lines, and then be sure to wash it, because if you don't, then yes, the lines may have disappeared, but those chemicals or whatever are still in the fabric. So you do need to wash it to get that out so that they don't come back. You can use a water-soluble pen also from, I don't know, you can buy them at most any fabric store or craft store. They have water-soluble pens that just, when you wash it, it comes out. I use the chalk pencil, and the reason I use that is because the point is finer. When I tried the water-soluble pen, it kind of spread out, kind of leaked out from, because I like my grid line to be right between the fabric threads. So somebody asked me, can I explain how to grid? What you do is you count your fabric squares or threads so that you have 10 stitches by 10 stitches. So here, what I did is, okay, here's my line, and I counted 10 stitches, made another line, 10 stitches, made another line, 10 stitches, another line, and so forth across. And then you do the same thing going down. And then what I did is just followed that thread all the way down and mark it, and then draw the lines across, and so that now I'm left with 10 by 10 squares. I think you can see them okay. Let me darken them up. Okay, so that's my grid. My 10 by 10 square then matches the 10 by 10 squares on your chart. So here, for example, My 10 line is here and here. My grid, my stitching was actually, this last block was 8 by 10. So you have, when you do this, you need to start so that your grids are going to match up. So if I would have started out here at 10, then the rest of this wouldn't have matched up. What it does is it then makes it easier for you to park your thread at the next place that color is going to be used. Okay? Oh, yes, you're right, Lucia. Water-soluble pen does tend to blur. And yes, dotting it works just as fine. Hi, Stacy. Glad you're here. You could just put a dot at each intersection like this. But what you want to do, what you're doing is marking so that you know where your 10 by 10 squares are. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. I'm glad you stopped in too. Anybody that uses friction pens, they go on sale during the back to school time. Yeah, probably Amazon or any place that sells them. And as I said, the only thing with those is after you iron the marks away, you must wash it. Because if you don't, those chemicals that cause it to disappear are still in there, and then under certain conditions, those lines may come back. That happened to Stitch Ilanka, if any of you watch her, from Germany, and she had a piece which happened to be one of her favorite pieces, and she did not use the pen though, however. She used the friction marker, and that's different. I don't think I would use the marker. Stacy, you can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them at Staples, Home Depot. Just about any place that sells pens has them. Yeah. I might even have one laying here. Yeah. They're made by Pilot. And this one's a clicker. Sharon, it depends on how you cut your fabric. Normally for me, I cut my fabric with a 3-inch border. Okay. So if my design area is going to be 7 by 7, I'll add 3 inches and make it 3 inches on all 4 sides. So that way it would be 7 and 3 is 10 and another 3 is 13. So I would cut my piece 13 by 13. Then when I want to start my gridding, I would go in 3 inches. And the easy way to find that is take a Post-it note, a square Post-it note, lay it in the corner of your fabric, and the opposite corner is your 3 inches. Start your gridding right there. Or you can do like Lucia does. She starts dotting in the middle and works her way out to all 4 sides. Either way is fine. Yeah. Now, the other thing, I do not grid my whole thing at one time. I grid as I go. Because I'm just going to work within a certain area. So I grid as I go. Yvonne, wash it, meaning wash like you would any other cross-stitch fabric. I don't rub my fabric, I put it in the water and swoosh it around and let it soak. And then after a while, swoosh it around again and let it soak. You should not have to rub. Yeah, and everybody does their gridding different. Some people choose to use the sulky sliver and sew their grid on. And that's fine. That's fine. I personally don't do that because that stuff gets in my way. And I don't know, I just have a hard time. I guess once I started gridding, I always worked with pre-gridded fabric. So when I started gridding my own, it just felt more comfortable to me to draw the lines on, as opposed to sewing them on and then have that extra thread moving out. I have to move out of the way. Even though I can stitch over it, I always felt like I had to move it out of the way, and it just annoyed me. So it's like, you know what, just keep drawing it. Yeah, and I try to make sure I always have at least a 3-inch border, because if you're going to put it in a hoop or a Q-snap, you need that much to give yourself room. Even a scroll frame, depending on what kind of scroll frame you're using, you need that much extra fabric to give yourself room to have room to put that hoop, or have room to attach that Q-snap or whatever, so that you're not attaching or putting the hoop right up against where you need to stitch. That's awful awkward. Really awkward. Okay, I'm missing things here. Hold the phone. Hold the phone, Karen. 3 inches from the edge. Yeah. Yeah, I grid as I go, Lucia, also. If you can't find bowhin pen on Amazon, I think that's supposed to be Prim, makes one as well. It's a ceramic tailor's chalk. Exactly. And that's what the bowhin is. It's ceramic tailor's chalk. And the other reason I don't grid real far ahead is because it will rub off before you get to it. Like from working on this and the friction of going over it, my line, well, here they started already fading over here. My lines are starting to fade. So yeah, I just kind of grid as I need them. Yeah. Yes, and you can erase it if you miscount, because there's a little eraser on the end. See, just turn it up and you can say, ooh, that's wrong. Ooh, now it helps if you have something solid behind it. There you go. It's gone. So you can erase it. That's the other nice thing. Although the friction pens, you can just iron if you made a mistake. Jen, you buy pre-gridded because you're too lazy. Yeah, normally I do, but I had fabric here and it was like, you know what? Let's just use this up before you keep buying and buying and buying and buying. Oh, let's see. My grid pen is called Fine Point Mark Be Gone. Yes, that's a good one. I've used that already. Last time we spoke about washing your project, you said wash it with dish soap. Yes. Did I understand correct? Yes, you did. That's for dishes, right? Yep. Shouldn't I wash it with clothing soap? Yes, you could do that also. I either use Dawn dish soap or Dreft laundry detergent. Those are my two go-tos for washing stitch pieces. Yeah, you can use either. Just any kind of mild mild soap. That's what I use. Jody, a lot of people will use Dawn dish soap, and I think my theory, I probably made it up, but it's my theory, is Dawn is good at removing grease, and your hands are oily, therefore they may be it's going to get the oils out. Yeah, so you can use Dawn. I use Dreft. Dreft is for those of you who are of a certain age. You may have used Dreft laundry detergent back in the day when we washed diapers. We washed our baby diapers in Dreft. Dreft has an oxidizing agent in it, similar to OxyClean, and it will brighten up your piece and get the dirt out. So you can use Dreft. When I was working with my mentor, that is what she recommended to wash things in, and she was an Embroiderers Guild of America certified instructor. So I believe what she told me. And Dreft has has sodium perborate in it, and that is the agent that whitens. Okay, it's an oxidizing. It's not a bleach. It's an oxidizing agent. Yes, and it is still available for babies' clothes. Absolutely, and people still do use it. A lot of people don't wash. I don't know who washes diapers anymore, but back in the day, I did, and that's what I used, and that's what I used to wash my stitch pieces. That's what I used to wash my hardanger pieces, and my hardanger pieces have been around a mighty long time because I stitched them back in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. And they look just like the day they were stitched. So you don't have to be afraid to use that. Yeah. And you're right, Brandy. You could use Dawn and a little bit of OxyClean. OxyClean is I haven't looked at the ingredients, but it's probably the same oxidizing agent as what is in Dreft. Because, okay, all the commercials show they put a yellow curtain in there and it comes out white. We've all seen those commercials at one time or another. So, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Orvis is another thing that you can use. And, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Orvis not, or what am I thinking of? Is Orvis not a horse shampoo? Maybe that's not the one I'm thinking of. I can't remember. But there's one of them that is a horse shampoo that they use to wash needlework. I think it's Orvis, but I'm not 100% positive on that. So don't quote me on that one. But you want a mild soap, and then you let it soak. Just let it soak. If you're trying to get the grid out of pre-gridded fabric, you need to make sure your water is hot enough, and you need to make sure that you maintain that temperature, and then that grid will come out. Now, when washing, and someone mentioned it as I saw that flip by my comments, be careful with your hand-dyed fabrics, because if it's hand-dyed and it's not What's the word I want? You're yelling it at me, aren't you? Oh, good God, I can't think of it. But there are hand dyes that can't be washed because they're going to take away all that dye. Okay? Okay, it's right here on the tip of my tongue. Can somebody please read it? Color fast. That's it. If it's not color fast, then you might have a bit of a problem if you if you go to wash it. If your dyer says it is color fast, it should not be a problem. Okay? As an added measure, so that if it is going to bleed at all, thank you guys for telling me color fast. It was right here. And do you think I could think of it? It was. That's why I said it's on the tip of my tongue. Can someone please read it? You can also, for anything that you think may bleed, there's a product called, and I've mentioned this before, you guys have probably heard it before, is Synthropol. And you can buy that on Amazon. I'm not sure where else you buy it, but it acts like a color catcher. So even your color catcher cloth, you can put that in when you're washing your piece so that any loose dye molecules, any dye that has not adhered to the fabric is kind of going to float around, and that's what the bleeding is. This will catch them and prevent them from going back onto the fabric. So that's Synthropol, Syntropol. I bought it on Amazon. You don't need much, just a little bit in with your wash water, and that prevents that. Yeah, but with hand dyed, you do want to be careful. You do want to be careful. Make sure that it's color fast, because if not, you could be washing out the hand dyed, the color, and I don't think you really want to do that. Or you wouldn't have bought hand dyed in the first place. Yeah. So, Orvis, yes. A lot of quilters use Orvis to wash their pieces. Yeah. Yes, that's another thing we used to do, Brenda, is add salt. And why do I remember vinegar? What did vinegar do? I can't remember, but something is triggering. We added vinegar for something. Was that to set color? While we're talking about color, in case there are those of you that don't know this, if your color bleeds and you say you have red floss and that red is now bleeding into the fabric, and you have pink rings around things, the biggest mistake that people make is they let it dry. Don't do that. If your color runs, keep it wet. Okay? Don't let it dry. Once it dries, that color is going to set. Keep it wet. Keep it soaking and soaking and soaking. Change your water. Keep it soaking. And even if you have to soak it for days, keep it soaking, and that color, you will be able to get most of it out. But the magic thing is, don't let it dry. Once it's dry, you're kind of done. It's not probably not going to come out. But if you keep it wet, you may be able, with persistent rinsing and soaking, you may be able to get the majority of it out. You might not get it 100%, but you can at least get the majority out. Vinegar to remove soap residue or to set color on acid dyes. Oh, okay. See, I knew there was something that we used vinegar for. I just couldn't remember. Michelle, color fast means that the color is set. It should not bleed. It should not run. So if you used red and it's supposedly color fast, it shouldn't make your things pink. Operative word there is shouldn't. Oh my goodness, my mouth is dry. So yeah, that's what color fast is. It means that color is set and it should stay there and not bleed out onto your fabric. Woolite. Do you know, I don't know. Some people use woolite. I've never used woolite. I don't know. But I will try and research that. I vaguely remember hearing somewhere along the way not to use woolite. But then I also hear people that do use woolite. So it's probably pretty much of, are you willing to risk? I would say, pardon me, if you're going to use woolite, test it on something small and not important before you use it on a piece that is more important to you. Yeah, there are things that, yeah, test. Always test. Is your best. Even when you're deciding one strand of floss or two strands of floss or full crosses or 10 stitches or whatever, test. People can tell you what the general consensus is of things. Case, I don't know if woolite has a bleaching agent or not. I honestly, I really don't know anything about woolite, to be perfectly honest with you. And like I said, I'll tell you when I don't know. And I don't know. I honestly do not know any. I have never really used woolite, to tell you the truth. I don't buy wool. Okay? If it can't go in a washer and go in a dryer and get folded or hung on a hanger, I ain't buying it. So I don't know anything about woolite. Truth be told. Yeah. But yeah, my biggest thing is test it. If you want to use something or stitch a certain way or whatever, get yourself, we all have them, piece of scrap fabric around, stitch something small, even if it's only 20 stitches, and test it. Wash it and test it. The same way if you're deciding fabric and strands and all that kind of stuff, grab a piece of fabric and test it. It's your biggest friend. Because like I said, we all stitch different. My tension is probably different than the tension that you put on your thread. I know people that stitch over 1 on 25 count with 2 strands of floss and absolutely love it and wouldn't do otherwise, and 1 strand has not near enough coverage for them. What I'm stitching now is 1 strand of floss on 20 count, and personally, I think this coverage is fine. There's nothing, I don't think. Let me zoom you back in again. Where is it? Oops, wrong way, Jose. There. I don't think there's anything wrong with this coverage. Can you see little itty bitty spaces of white occasionally? Yes. But in all honesty, I don't have a problem with that. And in all honesty, if I were to stitch 2 strands on here, personally, I think it would be too thick. Too bulky. 25 count, I do with 1 strand. 28 count, 1 strand. Truth be told, if I have to use 2 strands, I'll change the count. I do not like stitching. You know, there was a day where there was no way I would have stitched with 1 strand. It always had to be 2. There was a day. Now, it has to be 1 strand, or I'm not going to stitch with it. I'm going to change the count to make it what I want it to be. I have, for myself, I have the hardest time getting 2 strands to lay the way I would like them to. It's just me. Just me. Brenda, you live in Ireland and your woolite is for woolen and delicate fabrics like silk. So it wouldn't have bleach in it. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Jen, you like 1/1 on... Jen does 1/1 on 20 count. Lucia does 2/1 on 20 count. And Jen, you don't stitch anymore with 2 strands either. Do you know, 1 strand, it really does kind of spoil you, doesn't it? Because look at, you use a lot less floss. When you only use 1 strand, you're using a lot less thread than if you use 2. Okay, just take, for example, the first thing that comes to mind is the people that stitched, for example, Death by Cross Stitch with 2 strands of floss. Imagine how many skeins of floss that took, especially if you did it all in 1 color. A ton. So if you stitch 1 strand of floss, you're probably cutting that usage in half. Plus, it's smaller, it isn't going to take up as much wall space. And you can hang more things on your walls. Oh, Cardinals, 18 count, 2 over 1, but my next I want to use 1 strand. Yeah, I don't blame you, Jody. Go for it. We'll cheer you on. Brenda, it looks way nicer. And you know what? I think it does. I think it does. When you're doing a full coverage, and like I said, I chose 20 count for these stockings just because I wanted them to be that size. And I knew I could still use 1 strand. But if you're doing like a regular picture, for example, and you're using, say, 28 count, I think it's just because it's smaller and everything is more concentrated. Those colors are way more vibrant. The design's the same, but the color is way more vibrant. Oh, yeah, Jody. It's a question of can you see it? Magnifiers are wonderful things. You need them. In fact, I don't have them on today because a 20 count I can see pretty well without magnifiers. But do I have them here? Try these puppies. There you go. These magnifiers are wonderful. And they clip right on your glasses like this. And they're away from your face. Oh, that's crooked there. They're away from your face. So when you look up, you can see. Okay, you can sit here and laugh at me now because I put these silly things on. But yeah, they work wonderful when you clean them and they're not dirty. And they're not expensive, but these are great little magnifiers for to stitch with. But like I said, I don't really need them on 20 count, so that works for me. Let's see, you do 2 threads on 25 count. Yes, but you're doing a 10 stitch. So yeah, that is a little different. I don't know. I tried. Jody, Amazon, wonderful things. Wonderful things. But look for the kind that these are stand away from your face. I like these better than I also have these mag eyes. They clip on your glasses also, but they're right up here against your glasses, where these are away a little bit. So, yeah. Whichever you prefer. Yeah, I don't like the ones that are right up against your glasses. And with those ones that are away, I actually can use less magnification, believe it or not. If I have the ones that are right up against your glasses, I have to have 3.0. If I have the ones that are away, I can do 2. Yes, Cass, that's the brand. That's the ones I have. Yes. I love them. I love them. But like I said, right now I'm not needing to use them because I can see the 20 count. Yeah. So it's all in what works. You know, it's all about what works for you. All about it. That's, you got to do what you got to do for you. I've got 2 over 10 stitch and 1 over full cross on mother dragging both 25 count. You prefer the 2 over 110. Yeah, Allison, it is quicker. I think my first issue with, and again, my first issue was I was making my tent stitch slant bottom left to upper right. That's opposite of my top stitch of when I do my crosses. So I did change from lower right to upper left to have it angled differently. So that was better. But then I started a piece that was so confetti heavy. Terribly, terribly confetti heavy. And I got this big wad of clumpiness on the back. And I just did not like that. It was so thick, I could hardly get my needle through it. I did not like that. So I went back to 1 over 1 full cross. That really is my preferred method, is a full cross. And I am not of the mindset that if you do 10 stitch, it's cheating. It's a counted stitch, no matter how you look at it. You know, to me, it's not cheating. So yeah, it depends. Yes, Donna, you will be able to work on counts smaller than 16 because it also, that set comes with, I think, 5 different strengths. So you can switch out to get the right strength for you. Are you having cataract surgery in September? Makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Brandy, you have to wrap your head around it by only stitching it the way your top stitch. Yes. Yes, that's what I changed, and I was good doing that, but my back was so thick because there was so many different colors in just that one 10 by 10 square. It was, I couldn't get my needle through it anymore. It was so thick. Allison, you're still torn. You'll figure it out. Those magnifying glasses went straight into your basket. Yes, they do work absolutely great. Absolutely. Do I do my stitches the same on full coverage and samplers? Yes, I do. I cross each X as I go, no matter what I stitch. And I stitch. First leg is bottom left to upper right. My top leg is bottom right to upper left. And it doesn't make a difference what I stitch. I always make my X's that way. That's right, Donna. Eyelids. Eyelids. Now I remember. Oh my God. It's a head like a sieve sometimes. Yeah. Yes, it doesn't matter what I'm stitching. My X's are always made that way. I can't undo that. It's what my head will normally just do. Yes, Brenda, they will be great for you in the meantime. You'll find that once you have both cataracts, if you have in both eyes, once you have both eyes done, your vision will change again. Yeah. In fact, I actually don't need to wear these glasses because really the top is nothing and I just have the bifocal to see close, but then I have the magnifiers to see even closer when I'm stitching. But I don't need, they corrected my distance vision with my implants. So I really don't need glasses except to read, but I have them and I wear them all the time because half the time I couldn't remember where I laid the readers. And I had so many pairs all over the place. It was like, oh, just put glasses back on your face and be done with it. Yeah. Yeah. But it will help you. I can pretty much guarantee you that it will help you. Well, while I'm enabling you to buy glasses, I got this little stand. Okay, it sounds like I'm not stitching. How long are we here already? Oh my goodness, almost 2 hours. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, boom. Let's go to, hold still. There we are. Hello. I switched the screen. We just switched the screen. Okay, that's not in your way. Okay, all right. I got a fanny frame. Okay, you sit on this. I'm gonna test it out. Okay, and then it has one of these. You hoop on a thing, on a stick, and you put it in like this, and you can put your hoop and adjust your angle or whatever, like that. So you can make it as high as you want, and then put this at whatever angle you want. But here's the best part. Oh, Jen, come on. You know you come here to be enabled. Oh, wait, I better put the chat up here. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. You want to see your chat. Hold the phone. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it covered my face. There we go. There we go. Let's move me over. Okay. How's that? You know you want to be enabled. But here is the better part. Because that one's okay for hoops. I didn't get this together yet. But this, my dear, dear people, come on. Okay, this is supposed to go in between here. There we go. It's a little tight. This will now hold your Q-snaps. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Does it tell me how to put it together? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to test this out. Because since I have braved the Royal Rose, I don't have enough room for my liking in the hoop to put all those park threads. So I wanted to have something that I could use my Q-snaps with. Yeah, I know. And you're all sitting here going, what about your Patoki frame stand? Well, I'm waiting for Patoki to get back to me. I love my Patoki stand. However, my friends, the clamp on my Patoki stand is loose to the point that as I'm stitching, uh-oh. Have to figure out which way this goes. As I'm stitching, it keeps falling front upon me. So I have to have one hand to hold it back where it belongs, the other hand to stitch with. And I'm waiting for Patoki to get back to me with how do I tighten that. To which I haven't heard anything yet. So I'm still waiting. I don't mind waiting, but seriously, people? This is long enough. Yeah, Penny, I waited, I think I told you this. I waited like a year and a half for my floor stand. And yeah, they're wonderful stands. I'm a little disappointed in the fact that it loosened up the way it did for the price, because they're not cheap. They are way not cheap. But like I said, I'm waiting to hear back on how to tighten it. Michael told me he was going to send my request to the engineers and they would get back to me with how to do that, to which, yeah, I've not heard anything yet. To which I probably need to send them another email. Oh, Nick, you have a Patoki Mini and it wobbles. Yes. Yes, it does. And that one also, I don't know, I must be flipping way too much, because that one also loosened up on me. That I need to tighten it and I still haven't heard how to do that either. So, as I said, they are beautifully wonderful stands. Magnifiers. The kind that go in your glasses like we were talking about, Michelle. It's Kikar, I believe is how you spell it. This goes this way. This way. It goes this way. And you put it through here. Here we go. I think I got it together. I'm going to try this. Yeah. If I wouldn't have spent all that I did on the Patoki, I would try the Gus's stand. But I can't. My husband already tells me I have too many stands. I can't justify the dollars at this point in time. Okay, wingnut, let's go here. I hate starting these things. But yeah, I was all that in a bag of chips about a Patoki, but I'm not. Yeah, Penny, you can still cancel. I also have a Lowry. I have a hard time adjusting that to the right height and angle that I need it. Allison, I saw that, and it looks so wonderful. He did a fabulous job. A fabulous job. Yes, the United States does accept shipping from Ukraine. Yes, that's not a problem. Well, that looks like okay. Let's try this and see what happens. Okay, you really came on this stream to watch me do this. Annie, where did you find a clamp like this for your Nerge? Because I was looking for a clamp like this for my Nerge that would, I'm blocking my face here, that I could still use it from the front, and I could not find one. Oh, well, now that just look at that. Yeah. I've used the clamp on my nerge and it's a dream now. I love burger frames. Burger? I never heard of burger frames. Ooh. Well, Allison, keep me in mind. I would test one, absolutely. This is, I thought it was going to be Hardwick Manor fanny frame, but it has a different insignia on, but it's just like a Hardwick Manor one. And it seems to be very well made. Oh, okay, it was part of a lap stand. Yeah, I just, my Lowry, I just have a hard time adjusting. I need a height that's in the middle of the two. Oh, Anna, that's awful. You got your stand returned because oh. Monster Mama, which nerge frame are you talking about? Are you talking about the wooden hoops, or are you talking about the plastic square ones? Personally, I prefer the hoop, the wooden hoop. And I have not, well, I'll go into that. I don't like the plastic because the larger ones do not hold your fabric tight. At least I can't get it tight on the larger ones. The two smaller plastic ones are okay. They do put creases in your stitches and your fabric. The hoop, the wooden hoops, yes, they're going to, of course, flatten your stitches. All that being said, when you wash your piece, after it's done being washed and you've rinsed it well, and you laid it flat on a towel, and you rolled it in that towel, and you pressed out the excess water, you take it to your ironing board. You put a terry towel on your ironing board, or layer some bath towels on your ironing board. You lay the piece, your stitched piece, face down on the terry towels, and you iron it dry. All of those stitches puff back up. Oh no, Brenda, your dinner is burning. Oh, well, okay, go get it before it's totally ruined. Oh, Barbie, hello. Glad you're here. So I would say whichever one you're comfortable with using is fine. And no matter what you use, whether you're using a hoop, whether you're using a Hardwick Manor hoop, a nerge hoop, a nerge plastic square hoop, a hoop from the plastic hoops from any craft store, your stitches are probably going to get crushed. But when you wash and iron your piece, they are all gonna come back up. They're going to puff right back up to the way they looked when you stitched them. Oh, Lucia, well, you have a great weekend, and we will catch you next time. No, you don't want to use steam. No. Dry iron. A dry iron. Iron it dry with a dry iron, and you will be fine. The stitches will all come back. You know, even hard hanger embroidery, I do the same thing. I wash. I lay it on a terry towel on my ironing board. I iron it dry. It's face down. I iron it with a dry iron. Yes, ideally you should take your hoop off at the end of your stitching day, or when you're going to let it lay for a couple hours at a time before you get back to it. Ideally, you should take it off. Do we always do that? Honestly, nope. Nope. Oh, okay. The Siesta Sonata lap stand has that clamp. See, that was what I was looking for. I was looking to not have to buy a whole stand just for that clamp. But now, this, no, it won't. No, it won't. It's opposite. This, the wedge part fits inside, where on the Nurge frame, this piece would be on the outside of this. That was my problem, to get something to fit it. Yeah. Now, like I said, I thought these were Hardwick Manor, but this is a different, oops, there we go. That's a different marking. I don't know what company that is. 30. Well, you are absolutely right. The pulling on the stitches under the plastic. Yes, and that can distort your stitches. Again, yes, that can shift them. And on the plastic Nurge hoops, it probably would. I have not experienced that on the wooden hoops. And when I do the wooden hoop, I tighten it, not 100% tight. I tighten it, I pull my fabric, I tighten it a little more, I pull my fabric, tighten it a little more. If it still needs adjusted, I adjust it, and then I tighten it tight. But I have not had it shift stitches. Does it crush them? Yeah, probably. But not noticeable. And what I noticed with the Nurge hoops or the Hardwick Manor hoops is when you take that hoop off, within a few hours, you don't know that there was a hoop on that fabric. That's what I have found. And I don't take my hoop off all the time. You know, at the end of every day. Sometimes it's on, well, I'm not going to tell you how long it's on. Sometimes it's pretty long. Oh, is it the same, Donna? Is that the same marking? Well, maybe it is then. I thought my Hardwick Manor one was a little different. What's this one? Well, this is a Nurge. This is a Nurge number 4. Etsy. I got it for, it was under $50. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have a name. But here's the paper that came with the clamp. And the directions to put it together. Whoa, wow. Well, let's see. How many stitches did I do? I did. Oh, it's a record. I did 20. I thought I did more than that. 20. True to form. True to form. It's always the way it is. 20. Okay, that's a record. Usually I have less than that. And I don't know what I did with the packaging. Okay, this part, the base part didn't have a paper with it, so I don't. This is the only paper I found of what. So I don't think it's a I don't think it's the Hardwick Manor one. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. No biggie. No biggie. Etsy. I got it from Etsy. Let me tell you the name of the shop. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Let me find my... Maybe it's here. Okay. Me. Purchases. It was from Nova Hand is the name of the shop. And on Etsy. Yeah, that Allison, she puts out a lot of stitches. I have the same logo on your hoop. And it said Staffel, Stafil on the bag. Yes, I will be stitching after dinner this evening. I truly will. I will probably be stitching yet this afternoon. Geez, we're in here over 2 hours. Holy smokes. That's all right. I can handle it. And I set my hoop over there, so I'm not even, don't even have it in front of me to stitch anymore. Oh. Well, Allison, you have no life. Guess what? I have no life either. You have 16. Oh, but yours are 10 stitches now, right? Am I correct? I think they are. So if you're doing the challenges, you would count a 10 stitch. You would have to do 2 10 stitches for one full cross to count in a challenge thingy. Jody, you're in my league. I did 20, you did 11 more than me. What can I say? What can I say? I'd rather sit here and chat with you all than... I mean, I like to stitch, don't get me wrong. It's nice to stitch. But look, if I put this here, first of all, it's too high to sit here on the table. 806. Whoa. Cast, you're lifeless. God, what a bunch. Oh, Munster Mama. No, what? 7 children. Bless your heart. No wonder. No wonder you don't have time to stitch. Good Lord. Good Lord. Bless your heart. Oh my goodness. 7. I had one. That was enough. No, yeah, we might have thought about more, but my husband had a son from his first marriage that had Down syndrome. So when we had one healthy little girl, we said that's enough. It's supposed to be under you. Oh, yes, I know. It's supposed to be sitting on my chair. Oh, I enabled you. Hey, I have to live up to my reputation, ladies. I have to live up to my reputation. You know, if you come here, you're going to be enabled for something. You know that, don't you? It is going to happen. Yvette uses the Hardwick Manor like this one I just put together. Only she uses the hoop and not this clamp thing. Yeah. And that is her preferred method of, or her preferred hoop for stitching. Yeah. I'm getting as bad as Teresa. I know, she is a bad influence, isn't she? She's on vacation right now. I forget where she said she went. She had pictures on Instagram the other day. Yeah, she's on vacation. I guess she'll be back maybe next week sometime, I'm thinking. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. You know, you never know what you're going to find when you get here. You could be enabled. You could not be enabled. So I hope she's having a good vacation. I think she took some stitching with her also, but I hope she's having a wonderful time and a relaxing time. So, yeah, we'll have to get her going when she comes back. That's where she went, Dominican Republic. Do you think I knew she went somewhere, but I couldn't remember where? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope she's having fun. I really, really do. Well, ladies, what else do we have to jabber about? I'm running out of stuff. I put a heart hanger video up the other day. So those of you that are doing the stitch along, you should have found that. Yeah, you know what, Louisa? I have not touched my fancy lady. Shame on me. I have not touched it. I should, but I haven't. I'm a naughty girl. Naughty girl. It'll come out to play at some point down the road. Just not right now. I really would like to get these stockings done. That really is what I would. No, I do not wax my pearl cotton. I do not wax any thread, to tell you the truth. There was a time I did. When I was stitching Stitcher's Retreat, when I first started, I waxed my embroidery floss. And I used, sometimes I used Thread Heaven, which is not made anymore. Or I used the pure beeswax, not the kind that you buy at the sewing stores, but the 100% beeswax. Oh, Jen, well, have a glass of wine for me. And Allison, you must eat. So, yes, I will catch you later also. Keep me in mind for that test thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, please do. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Anyway, I used the beeswax that was sold just for us stitchers. And then I stopped using it. And I could see a definite difference in my piece, where I had used it and where I had not used it. And there was a definite line. The color of the floss was different. And yeah, so I stopped. I stopped using it altogether. Really, what I find works just as well as any product. I won't use any of those products, whether it be Thread Magic, whether it be beeswax, whether it be whatever. I just have a damp sponge. Run it over a damp sponge. It does the same thing as Thread Magic or beeswax. And you don't get that. Even with the beeswax, they tell you, okay, run it through lightly and take your fingers over it and take off any excess. I did that, and it still made my floss, no, won't do it anymore. Damp sponge is all you really need. And you just run your thread over the damp sponge. It dries as fast as it doesn't stay wet long. It dries pretty quickly, and you stitch with it, and you get less knots. It lays nicer. It doesn't fuzz up on you. I just would much rather not use the products out there on the market and just use water, damp sponge. Oh, you finished Catherine Archer, Donna. Not Donna, Louisa. Good for you. Yeah, I don't. You don't need anything more than a damp sponge. It's when it changed the actual color of the floss, it looked dingy. Now, did some of it come out when I washed the piece? I'd like to think so, but I can't be 100% sure. I'm really not sure. I couldn't see the line anymore of where I had stopped using it. But I don't know that I want to take that chance again. No. No, so I don't use it. I won't use it. In fact, I've gotten waxers in like goodie bags and whatever. I'll give them away before I use them. Damp sponge is sufficient. Yeah. Okay. Well, Annie, thank you. It was just this week I had my hair cut again. Yeah, I have to keep them short. Have to keep them short. Yeah, I'm running out of subjects here unless you guys have something else. We've been here for, I'm getting a little hoarse, 2.5 hours. So I think we'll call it a day. And hopefully I won't wait another month until we do another live. No, I'd like to get them a little bit more often. Yeah, than just. Do you know what, Penny? Even metallic threads, dampen them. In fact, long before I would dampen my floss, that's how I worked with metallic threads, was to make them damp, because that was the only way I could make them more manageable. Because some of those are real buggers to work with. So yeah, I would just dampen it. And lark's head it onto your needle. You know how you put the floss on a thread keep, how you lock the thread onto there. Yeah, just do that onto your needle and it makes it you're better able to control it. Oh. Yes, so I think we're going to call it a day today. Jody, yes, thank you for stopping by. Case, hope you're feeling better. Yeah, what can I say? You guys are great. You guys are wonderful. You guys are the bestest out there. So I think I'll keep you all around and I'll be back. So with that, my dear, dear, dear people, love you all. Kathy, sometimes I do, when I'm having trouble with it knotting, I will still dampen it. Yes. Yeah, I usually have a damp sponge handy somewhere. Do I do it with every strand? No. Do I do it fairly often? Yeah. Who said it's snowing? Oh my goodness, it's gone fast. Okay. Okay, guys, I am going to say bye for now. Love you all. You are the best. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your support and dropping by. And if you're new, I hope you find some things that you like and will subscribe. And if you are someone who comes back and listens to my ramblings, thank you so, so much. You are all the best. So guys, I will see you next time. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.